What is going on, you guys? So this is the 2020 Dodge Charger Scat Pack wide body. Now this thing is very, very cool. It's actually one of my favorite vehicles that Dodge sells, and in this review we're going to have a lot of fun with this thing. We're gonna do some burnouts, we're gonna drive it, see how well this drives with the wide body setup, and ultimately I'm gonna explain to you guys why I think this is one of the best cars that Dodge sells. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and check out the 2020 Dodge Charger RT Scat Pack wide body. Now, this, in my personal opinion, like I said at the beginning of the video, I think this is single-handedly the best vehicle Dodge makes from a bargain performance perspective. And here's why. Love the Challenger wide body Scat Pack. That's also a good one. But with this, it's just naturally more practical. We have 4 doors. Personally, I think the looks of the Charger are incredible. A lot of people may think this car is dated, which it definitely is, but Dodge is one of the few companies who can still make such an old car, such an old platform look like modern muscle. It's really cool what they've done here. And then obviously getting the performance that you get out of this for $60,250, which is what this car is spec'd at. It's a pretty good deal. Now, $60,000 is by no means an everyman price. That's a lot of money for a lot of people. However, this I think is just a really balanced vehicle in terms of what you get, the power, the way you can put it down. All of it is just very, very pleasing. Well, let's go ahead and jump into this color. This is called F8 green. This is one of my favorite colors. This, and I believe the new frozen blue that they have. I can't remember if you can get it on the Scat Pack. I know for sure you can get it on the Hellcat, but that would be my first pick. This would be my second pick because it gives it that really cool, military-esque spec. I think it just looks fantastic, and this green looks really good in the sunlight. Now, as you move around to the front of the Charger, now if you guys are not familiar with Dodge products, to all my Dodge fans, you are super familiar with this car and you love it. And there's good reason why. It looks aggressive, yet it looks sort of modern as well. I love the wide fender flares. I mean, they just look so incredible, and the presence that this car has is unlike any other sedan on the road. Now, as you come here, you're going to have a lot of functional venting located here. Scat Pack badge located right there. You have this nice little intake here. Now, on some of the Chargers, you do have this little, I guess, circular intake that was there, but I do believe that that was only on the non-wide bodies. I like this look better. It looks cleaner. It doesn't have those goofy looking nostrils located right there. Once again, more functional venting here. You have this little plastic piece located here. You don't get any fog lights or anything like that. You're going to have LED daytime running lights on this car. I think the daytime running lights are perfectly aggressive to match the look of the vehicle. It just outlines the outside of the headlight. However, your actual headlights themselves are going to be just projector beam lights. I really wish they would do all LEDs. It may seem like a small thing, but I really think that nowadays LEDs should be standard across the board. Then as you come up here, you do have this functional hood vent located right here with the satin black package that this car does have. So that's going to give you a satin hood, satin roof, satin trunk lid, spoiler, satin trunk, as well as a deck lid spoiler. There we go. All right, so as we come around to the wheels, these are the wheels that you can get with the wide body. These are called the Devil's Rim wheels, and they look really, really good. Now, because you get the wide body package, you get fat tires all the way around this car. So you have 305 section tires at all 4 corners. So you have basically a steamroller, and this thing is such an aggressive looking vehicle. The stance, the meaty tires on it, everything just adds to that overall muscular American vehicle kind of look, and I absolutely love it. Now, getting closer, these are some pretty aggressive tires. These are Pirelli P0 tires. You can always go more aggressive. These are okay for the street. I do think there are a lot of better tires that can put the power down even better, but you know, there's always aftermarket for that, and as a from the factory tire, it does okay. You also have upgraded 6-piston Brembos on here as opposed to the 4 pistons you get on the non-wide body, as well as retuned suspension on this guy as well. Here's your 392 Hemi badge located right there. Here's a really cool look at those front fenders. Your signature, I guess, accent right here. I mean, Dodge has had this on the Charger for a very long time. So by now, when you see that on the side of a car, you automatically know that it is a Charger. And I love the side profile of this thing. It really does look really cool. And then as we move to that rear quarter panel, here's my favorite angle because you get to see all of the fender flares, and I love the rear taillights on here. Once again, they've been around for a long time, but it still does a great job of keeping with the times. This car has actually aged so incredibly well, and obviously at night the back is going to be a full LED strip that goes all the way around. It looks so aggressive, it looks so mean. And back here you do actually have a functional vent right here, so I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but there's actually some functionality going on here, so all that built up turbulence in the rear fender well can escape through there, and you have that on both sides. Now as we come up, here's that matte black here. You guys can see the matte black on the roof. Even your little antenna right there is matte black, and then obviously your deck lid spoiler matte black as well. You have these blacked out badges right here. Scat Pack badge, once again, it's going to say Dodge right in the middle. Then you're going to have these exhaust pipes, which make a pretty good noise, so let's go ahead and check that out. Alright guys, so as we hop inside of the Charger Scat Pack, this one is going to have the Alcantara and leather seats, which, I mean, look incredible. Love the Scat Pack logo. We'll get back to that in just a second. So let's go ahead and start with the door. You actually have a decent use of materials here. So you're going to have like a leather or leatherette, but it feels more like plastic. So if you guys can hear this. So it has a little bit of like a harder feel to it. You've got some white stitching located there. This is going to be a lot softer of like a leather material here. Your armrest is going to be pretty soft here. More stitching located right there. Then as we work our way down, I love this area. This whole grab handle is like super soft, and you can just really grab onto that. You're going to have your door locks, window controls, mirror controls located there. A little bit of storage space located underneath there, but this is all just hard plastic. You have 2 memory seat settings. Now as we come down, you have aluminum pedals located back there. Really old school emergency brake there. Your your hood release located right above that. You're going to have your lighting controls, automatic lighting, footwell illumination, interior illumination. Now speaking of the illumination, just real quick, it's okay, it's nothing too crazy. Your cup holders light up, the lights are decently bright, but there's no like legitimate ambient lighting. And then the footwell lighting, at least on my side, was actually broken. It just worked on the passenger side. Then coming to the steering wheel, you actually have an electronic steering wheel, which is I was surprised to see, and that can obviously go up and down and then telescope. In terms of the seating material, very, very soft. Even the Alcantara has some perforations located there, and it's just a really, really nice feel right there. And then going back up, let's take a closer look at that awesome logo. How cool. I'd love to have that on my seats. But let's go ahead and hop in and check out the rest. All right, what do you guys say we shut the door on the Scat Pack? Let's see how much of a sound difference we have. Ready? Not bad. Not bad. Here's a wider look at the interior. I mean, this is not the highlight of the car. Let's just be honest here. It's okay and it works. It's nothing special. It's been around for forever. Now to start, you do have push button start. So foot on the brake, and then you're going to hit that to start. Nice, powerful startup. I love that startup. Really nice. Now, looking at the steering wheel, I actually prefer this to the Hellcat steering wheel. And the reason being is you actually don't have those massive like grip extensions up here. These are pretty thick, but it's a really nice wheel. You've got perforations here, smooth leather here, some stitching located in there. And the overall feel of it is, I mean, it's very nice. You have a flat bottom there, plastic here, obviously all plastic here. Your Dodge emblem with this kind of cheap looking chrome. And then over here you have these controls to control your screen, which I'll get to in a second. Phone commands, voice commands. Over to the right, all of your cruise control. You do have adaptive cruise on here, which is nice as well. And then your paddles, which are awesome to use, and we will demonstrate those later on the drive. But let's go ahead and get to this screen located here. So this screen is pretty nice, very easy to use. Using the buttons to the left, I can go up and down through different settings, and then depending on what screen you're on, you may also be able to go left and right. So right here, for example. So pretty cool. Lots of cool stuff there. And then obviously over to the right you have your tach. Sorry, to the left you have your tach, to the right you have your speedometer, and that's pretty much going to be it, guys. No stock to the right. Blinker and wipers are going to be in this left stock. We pretty much already saw over here, you are going to have a speaker right back there for your Harman Kardon sound system. This is like a soft-ish plastic. It's meant to look like leather, but it's all plastic, and there's just a big slab of it running all the way across. 392 badge located over here. Got your screen here, which is a pretty decent size, like a, almost two of my fists, but it is cool and it's very easy to use. So Dodge, really all of FCA's American products pretty much have the same setup here, and it's very, very easy to use. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. This one has the SRT dashboard, which you can go through and see things like drive modes, performance pages. You have different race options. You have line lock, launch control, turn on and off shift lights. It's just a really cool thing, and you can set obviously what RPM you want your launch control to be at. I can hit climate controls. I'm going to have heated seats and vented seats. I do wish you actually had a button for the heated and cooled seats, or vented seats, sorry, but you have to go to this control button on the screen and then push it here. Heated steering wheel, auto dimming mirrors, and then different settings right there. All of your climate controls, media, settings, and it's just an easy system to use. So I do want to compliment Dodge on that. Coming down here, you have physical knobs for your volume, traction, lane keep. Launch has a physical button. Parking controls have a physical button. Different drive modes. So I can click up here, go to track, sport, auto, custom, and if I hit this, I can go to my custom setup and select what I want my transmission in, my paddle shifters on or off, traction, suspension, steering. Really, really nice. As you go down, you have dual zone climate control, so I can hit either of these and you guys can see the different temperatures on each side. Fan speed located right here. Now if I move this back, it's a little dark in here because we're in a parking garage, but if I open that, you're going to have a 12 volt located right down there. A little bit of storage space located in here. Putting that into reverse, you're going to have your backup camera, which is pretty bad resolution, not gonna lie. You don't have a 360 either, and this is the only view. So, but at least you have a backup camera. Like this shifter, Dodge has had it for a while, and it's pretty simplistic. It is all plastic, but it looks really nice, and you've got this nice dark chrome here, a little bit of leather here, and even the symbols on here, everything's just a real crisp lighting, and little details like that do look very nice, so I do like that. And you can throw it into manual mode as well. Down for upshift, push forward for downshifting, just the way it's supposed to be. So kudos to Dodge for that. Little area to put my key. Right back here I've got my cup holders. Little area to slot my phone. Armrest is extremely soft. Lift that up. Good amount of storage space. 2 USBs and an auxiliary in there. Lockable glove box with felt in here, which I'm surprised to see, so that'll keep everything nice and quiet. Your auto dimming mirror up here. Sunglass holder. Lights up here, not LEDs, but you know, they're very bright, so that is nice. Up here you're gonna have your home link. This is to open and close your moonroof. And then your vanity mirrors. Pretty much it for the front. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the car. All right, so hopping in the back seat of the Dodge Charger Scat Pack. Now, just like the Widebody Hellcat, you get the same amount of room, obviously, in every Charger. So sitting here, I've got maybe an inch behind where I was sat, being 6 feet tall, and then where I am now. Maybe 2 inches the further I move my knees closer to the middle of the seat, because you do have a little bit of give right here, a little indent, if you will. But for the most part, the outside of this is hard plastic, so when I scoot my feet forward, my shins hit the bottom of this plastic, and it kind of hurts, like right here. So I can't scoot my feet forward enough to relax, and the seat is at a pretty good angle, but the issue is that my hair's touching, and if you are 6'2", 6'3", you're definitely going to be hitting your head on this, and that's on the window part right there. So you know, it's not the most perfect car in the world, but you do have enough space to fit someone if you're 6 feet or below. Once again, above 6 feet, you're gonna get a little bit close to scraping your head and touching. Now, I've got a grab handle here. The door shut is pretty solid. The materials are actually not bad. You don't have like hard touch plastic here up top. This is actually a softer plastic. You got this soft like leatherette here. The armrest is still very soft. It doesn't get hard until you get to the bottom, but that's to be expected in almost any car. And then the seats themselves are very good. Extremely plush. You've got this Alcantara here in the middle with perforations. If I fold down the middle part, you're going to have these really deep cup holders, very soft armrests, you guys can see there. Lift that up, and you've got a pretty decent amount, but the funny part is that it's kind of like a shallow pool starting here, and then it gets a little bit deeper as you go down. So that's pretty funny. Now, folding this back up, that's pretty much going to wrap up the space back here. Almost forgot. You have 2 vents right back here, 2 heated seats for both outboard passengers, and then 2 USBs. So you have a decent amount of, I guess, amenities back here. And if you need to charge your phone or anything like that, it's close enough that I can still have my phone in my hand while the cord reaches. But it's going to wrap up the back seat. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk. All right, so coming to the back of the Dodge Charger. Now there's a button here. Push that, opens right up. Now it's not electronic or anything. It just has these powered struts, kicks it up, and then it just goes up the rest of the way. Now I've got this big box back here, so you guys can see there's actually a ton of room back here. So this is the box I had in the back, and I mean that's pretty big. This is, I don't know if it says on here, it says 10 inches by 12 inches. I don't know if that's the actual, anyways. The box is pretty large, and it fit back here, which is really good. Now if you lift up the floor, you do have a little bit of extra storage space. You guys can see, hopefully you can see there's a little extra storage pocket in there. And then you can still fold the seats down if you want more room, and at that point you should be able to fit even longer items into there, which is really nice. Now, you do have a handle here to pull down, a release here. So let's go ahead and see what powers this thing. All right, you guys, so coming under the hood of the Dodge Charger Scat Pack wide body. So this is the beloved 6.4 liter naturally aspirated Hemi V8. This is making 485 horsepower, 475 pound-feet of torque, and that's a good amount of power. I mean, that's more power than you get in something like a brand new M4, brand new M3 even, not the new one that's coming out, but the current generation. So that's a lot of power. And with the Hellcat existing, people tend to forget that this is still a very, very powerful machine. Now, this is going through the 8-speed torque flight automatic transmission, and that is going to the rear wheels only, hitting those 305 Pirellis. That way you can lay the power down a little bit more effectively than you could in the non-wide body. But if you guys care about fuel economy, this gets about 15 in the city, 24 on the highway, which is pretty good. But in my experience, the 24 only comes if you're driving like maybe 60 to 65 miles an hour on cruise control. But other than that, I've been seeing somewhere around 19 to 20. But if you're getting this, you're already expecting the horrible fuel that comes with it. Now let's go ahead and get this on the road and see how it does. All right, driving the Dodge Charger Scat Pack. Now, if you guys have headphones, I do recommend you put them on because I do record this with the binaural audio. So headphones will make it feel like you're sort of in the experience with me, but I'm starting off in a parking garage because there's something I have to show you guys. All right, just listen to this madness right now. This thing is insane. Jeez. And this is just the Scat Pack. Like, that's some quality muscle car noises right there. My word. And let me move these keys real quick. That way you guys don't have to hear that the whole ride. And here's what I love about this automatic. This automatic on this car makes this car. It makes the Charger. It makes the Challenger. It makes every trim level. Hellcat, Redeye, Scat Pack, the normal one, the V6s, if people get those. And without this transmission, this vehicle would be awful. The engine would still be good and all of that, but if this had like a slow automatic, my goodness, this car would not be nearly as good as it is. So massive kudos to ZF for this 8-speed, and massive kudos to Dodge for sticking with this awesome transmission, because it seriously makes this car, as you guys will see in just a moment. Now with the Scat Pack, it's actually a lot easier to put down this power because you don't have an absurd amount of it. You don't have 707. 485 is still a lot, and there are times when it does struggle putting the power down. So for example, from a dead stop, it still really doesn't put the power down very well, even with warmed up tires. Speaking of warmed up tires, I did lots of burnouts for you guys, so here you go. All right, turning left on to the highway. We're currently in second, which I'm definitely going to leave it in second. And we're gonna open her up, you guys. Here we go. Woo! Man. All right, let's go ahead and get over. What is this guy doing? I can perfectly hear that truck. Like, it's just so loud. There's not a ton of sound deadening in here. However, it is very comfortable. These seats are so comfortable, and despite it being in my custom setting, which is basically everything in track except for suspension and traction, it's really good. Now you do have your track mode, sport mode. So if I hit the drive modes, I can go to track, sport. Track is firm, it's still comfortable, but it's just a little bouncy. So that's the only negative there. You just feel like you're on a pogo stick. So I never really go to track. even when I'm driving it a little bit harder, I tend to stay in like sport suspension. It seems to be a really good mix. Second gear. Whoa! Down, Bessie. Yeah, this. What an experience this car is. My word. And honestly, for the money and everything, it's so good. And the crazy part is, this car is a handful. So you guys, if you've never driven a Hellcat, if you've never driven a Redeye, I can only imagine how crazy the new Redeye is going to be. But for most people, this is a lot to handle. And I've driven other cars that have more power than this that are easier to handle. It's just the setup of the car. In a way, I feel like it's engineered and built to be kind of sketchy like it is, because that's the traits of a muscle car. It's actually sort of fun if you know what you're doing, like wrangling this car and like knowing that there's a level of physics that you have to play around with in order to get your accelerations right, and you have to be a little bit more gentle, yet at the same time you can really hammer on it, and then when it does start to get sideways, when it does do burnouts, knowing how to control that, it's kind of a skill. And that's why people like driving these. It takes skill. It really does. Not the typical skill you would get driving like a GT3 RS around a track, but skill in terms of, you know, wrangling a horse kind of thing. It's just that sort of drama and theater to it. It's really cool. Other than that, there's really nothing too special about the interior. I will say, this is really random, I love the smell of Dodge cars. They just have this distinct smell. Dodge and Ford have like a distinct smell to their vehicles. It's probably the cheap plastic, but I like the smell, so it's really strange. Every time I get into a Dodge product, I'm just like, yes, that's the smell of American quality right there. Well, everyone, that's going to wrap up my review of the Dodge Charger Scat Pack wide body. Like I said, this thing is great value, and I think it's the perfect amount of power. Remember, this is still a lot of horsepower. This is almost 500 horsepower. It may not be the range-topping Hellcat or even the new Redeye that's just announced, but this is such a well-balanced package. You can put the power down to the tires incredibly well. It sounds amazing. It has enough amenities. It's comfortable, it's spacious, and it's just overall very practical, and I think it looks really good. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'd love to have you here for more 4K in-depth car reviews, but I'm gonna go ahead and drive this some more because I like it that much. You guys take care.